Hi, it's Greg right here, and I wanted to come on here today and talk about how I started to love myself fully. Every looking cranny, every aspect, every hidden and seeing thing, just everything. And I don't know if you saw my 10 reasons why I'm awesome video, but on there I had a page or a slide. I had talked about a few years back I had urges of suicide, and I just wanted to kind of start this video off by doing that. So here goes. About six to I was just say back to middle school. I'm in the 12th grade now, so you know, just come out. But in the 6th grade, I guess you start noticing certain. Well, I started noticing certain feelings. You left elementary, so I left elementary, so it was just a big change for me, and I started noticing these feelings that I had for men, for boys, because they weren't men. But and at first it didn't. It didn't cross my mind that I was gay. I was just thinking that it was just me, which is true, and I liked how that was my first reaction to it. But then when you start noticing all of a sudden these things about the Bible, and well, I started noticing how just about everything about homosexuality started popping out the woodworks from everywhere, saying that it's wrong, it's bad, you're an abomination, it's a sin, it's a disease, you're not really yourself, it's just a phase. And I don't know about you, but for a boy, let's see, what, 6th grade, 7th grade, what, I was 13, 14 years old. That really fucks up. Excuse me. Try not to cuss. That really mess. That really mess with your mind. Such a young age, you're thinking that you're this horrible, horrible person that doesn't deserve to live. That just just doesn't deserve to breathe. You think that you're just this dirty little spot in society that needs to be erased, or it's just it's hard. And to just know, just you don't even know these people, but just to know that there are people out there that wants to see you die, literally just drop dead, just because you like the same sex. It's ridiculous. And sometimes it's just speechless how human beings can be just so hateful, and how they can make you hate yourself so far to where you want to kill yourself. Now, I did have urges. I didn't attempt suicide, but I came close. But I think what really stopped me from killing myself, which I thank God that I didn't, but I think what stopped me the most was that I did have a fear of death, and even though I wanted to die, and I thought that it was the only way out. I was thinking that if God created us to be miserable, if God created this enemy and let it roam the earth and say it's our fault, well then why won't we just choose to leave it before we could get influenced? Like, that's literally what I was thinking. And I don't. It's just sad, really. But I think what stopped me the most was that I had a fear of death. Um, Eventually, the thoughts of me leaving my family overwhelmed me, and that I felt even worse that I was thinking about killing myself because I knew how much it would hurt them. And then I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but then I thought about my possibilities in life. Like around this time, I did have a computer, so I did saw a lot of It Gets Better videos. And I saw a lot of people coming out, but when you scroll down on the comments, and I know these are just people hiding behind a computer, but at least I knew, like I was realizing that back then, but it was just, you're getting hate even now. And I thought that it wasn't that your situation was getting better. It was just that you was getting numb to everything. And that you really were just putting on a fake smile saying everything was alright when everything wasn't. But I do think differently now, but it just shocks me how much people can spread hate instead of love, and how we listen to a book, or we read a book and we just follow it. I'm not saying that is right, I'm not saying that is wrong, because I like to think I see things in layers, in different perspectives. So right now I'm an atheist, pagan, witch, and a Christian all at the same time, and a Wiccan. Okay, it's just really confusing like that. But hey, that's my path. But it's just it just really amazes me how we could just spread so much hate instead of love, and all that creativity, all that people go out their way just to comment on videos and tell them all sorts of names. And as a kid in elementary, I was always big, and I got picked on a lot. And the fact that I'm thinking God made me big, God made me gay, He made me black. I never really got any races, but just the thought of, yeah, there was a time where people hated, could hate, there probably still some out there, but could hate me because I was black. And I was just thinking, God is just taking a bitch. God is taking a big shitty, sorry, but God is just taking all his, what would you call it, mess ups on me. Like, He made me black, He made me big, He made me 6'3", 6'5", and He made me gay, and now He made me a witch, or He made me believe in something that doesn't really go with society, and now I think differently, but it's just, back then I was just thinking, He must just really hates me. And even that really made me want to kill myself, because I just really didn't want to deal with all the trying to fit in. I don't like fitting in. Fitting in makes me think that I'm trying to be something that I'm not. And I just don't understand it. But I do want to come on here and tell you how I got out of that train of thought, that perspective that I was just sulking in. And some of the ways how I got out of those perspectives, those thoughts, was that I thought about the future. Now, I know some people don't like thinking of the future because they can abuse that, and somehow they just think of the future too much. They just dwell in it, and But how I did get out of, that perspective was that I did thought of the future. I thought of about how it's not necessarily that life gets better or that you get numb, but it's that you get stronger. You realize the situations that life have. You realize the situations that life takes on a person, and realize that this person needs, for an example, people needed Christianity because they needed a way out. They needed something to believe in. And so once they start believing in it and they got off of their addictions or got out of a situation that they really needed help in, they started believing in the Bible. They started believing in God, which is great. I'm glad that you have found your own path. And so they're going to follow it down to the letter T. So, I mean, I can understand that, but I can also understand how life can just push someone to where they're just hateful, or to where that I'm probably not making no sense. But if you can understand how life is difficult and how people can change over time, and their perspectives are their perspectives and their opinions, and that there is a reason for it. And it's almost as if like you can't blame somebody for thinking that being gay is wrong in a weird way, because that's what they believe in. That's what helped them get out of whatever they need to get out of. This is helping them stay on their right track. Is actually following the book. So in some ways, I really can't complain per se. It gets a little bit too far when you're talking about putting all the gays on an island and having an electric fence around it, putting up an electric fence around it, and dropping off food by a helicopter. I saw it in a video once. Crazy. But how I got out of it, basically that. I thought about the future. I thought about my kids, my future kids. I thought about the husband, hopefully, that I will have. I'm pretty sure that they will pass for gay people to get married, because just about every single little section in society, whether you're black, I won't say white, but whether you're black or any race, any gender, just any little section in society had to fight for their rights. So I'm pretty sure that it's just our turn, and that we will eventually get equality. So I do think about a future husband one day. I do think about my kids. I do think about the people I'm supposed to help. I thought about the house that I was going to build, about the job that I was going to have, the happiness that I was just going to receive and also give, and the love that I will also, receive and give. So, I mean, what can I say to somebody out there who's struggling with suicidal thoughts? I'm not going to sit there and tell you that it gets better, per se, because sometimes it will get a lot worse before it gets better, and it may take years for that to happen. So I will say, on this journey in life, you will get stronger. You will get to know people a little bit better. You will get to understand the way people are, and the way society is, and how you just begin to understand the reasons for everything, and that you're here for a reason. And I know one of the things that really helped me was the thought that I was going to come on here, or not necessarily YouTube, but I was going to come to the world and I was going to help people with my experiences. And I don't know if you know this or have noticed this, but people who have been beaten, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, if you're still here, you're stronger. You can take a lot more. And I don't even know why they even call gay people weak, or, like they're weak, they're a little bit of nothing. But when you have such brave people trying to be who they are, and people speaking up, and people taking all this crap and still pushing, still breathing, it's just amazing. And I would give you a round of applause, because it just amazes me. Because it's not just gay people, it's just anybody who has ever been through something. You're stronger because you're still here. Go back to the saying that God doesn't put anything on you that you can't handle. And it's really the devil, per se, in a Christian perspective. I have my own thoughts about good and evil and the devil, which I probably will make a video, but I just wanted to come on here and say that don't let those thoughts get you down, because I know I'm here. I'm here to help. So you could talk to me about your problems, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of loving people out there. I thought that this YouTube pagan community was just going down the wrong turn, but I was completely wrong. I have met some amazing people this past month. Amazing, loving, just amazing people. And I thank my God, I thank my Father, Thoth, Jehuti, whichever name you want to use. And I thank my mother, Sekhmet, for just bringing these such wonderful people into my life. It amazes me how once you start trusting yourself, once you start loving yourself, once you start understanding yourself, and also understanding the environment, the people around you, and start trusting spirit and your intuition, it just opens up so many doors and so many new perspectives. And I just wanted to come on here and say, and we'll show you my story. So thank you. Like, subscribe, comment. Criticism is always welcome. And